So I'm not saying that I'm a relationship expert, but I have learned a few things along the way. So today I'm going to be talking about relationships and answering questions about relationships, just sort of like your big sister advice. Like, I've never been a big sister before, I'm an only child, and I feel like I've got so much good advice to give. Before I start answering questions, I want to ask you guys a question, and I just want to ask, why do you want a relationship? What do you think the benefits of a relationship are? Is it because you want to have that close person to you? Is it because you want to have that sort of like best friend, have the companion, the person to like hug and kiss and just be there for you? But it does come with a lot of negatives as well, so I want you to consider that, and also consider, have you thought about the benefits of being single, which are just being able to do whatever you want to do when you want, not having to worry about another person's emotions and worrying about what they're doing or what they're thinking. Also, there's nothing wrong with being single. You can spend that time finding yourself, having fun, learning things about yourself and learning what you like, what you dislike, learning just basically all about yourself. And yeah, we'll just get into our first question. So the first question is sort of like a 2-in-1. It's, why can't I get a relationship to stick or ever get past the talking stage? And why do I always end up in friends with benefits situation? And I think these things I've put together because I think they go together very, very well. So let's just answer the first part of the question, which is, why can't I get a relationship to stick or get past the talking stage? So this is hard to answer in a sense of every single person is different, and a lot of times there is a different reason for why the relationship isn't sticking. Sometimes it's because the person that you're talking to hasn't made it clear that they don't want more from you than a friends with benefits situation. Other times it's because they've said they're open to being more than friends with benefits with you, but they've again never really had that sort of conversation of, are we going to be more? Sometimes the answer is very simple, and that is, that person is not for you. So you have that sort of talking stage and then you never really sort of get past it because there's nowhere further for your relationship to develop. There's nothing further for you guys to explore. And I feel like a lot of times I've had disappointments when I have given too much of myself too early, and I've just sort of opened up too early, and there isn't really much more of me to give because I've just given it all straight away. And I'm not saying be overly cautious and hold back and put all your walls up. There's just a very fine balance in between that. You need to just sort of go in with an open mind and again make it clear what you want. It's very hard actually to make it clear what you want without being overbearing. You have to say that you are open to a relationship because it's true, you're open to it, but that you're not in a rush. And even if you feel like you're in a rush, ultimately you're not, because I think if you tell the person, you know, I'm not in a rush to get into a relationship but I'm very open to it, it sort of lets them know that you are keen to be in the relationship without being like, yes, I want a relationship, point blank period, I don't want anything else, because sometimes that can scare people off. And in relation to the why do I always end up in a friends with benefits situation, again, it could be to do with, I'm saying could be to do with you getting into something too quickly with someone, as in they've said they want a relationship but then you just, you know, sort of get with them straight away. But then again, in some situations I think there's people that have got together straight away and have maintained a very healthy, very good relationship. So I think it just depends on that person and their maturity, because I've been with someone before who has said, oh, you gave yourself up to me too easily, but then I think that's on their part, being too immature, to be honest. So it just depends on the person. And I think it's very important to remember that whatever you're doing is what you feel is right in the moment, and if you truly feel like it's the right thing to do, then you can't ever look back and say, well, I'm the problem and I have done something wrong here. Like, don't overpressure yourself. I think a lot of people, as soon as someone sort of shows even a little bit of interest or shows they want to talk to you, then we all are guilty of this. We get a bit hyped up in our minds, like, oh my god, yeah, like, we're gonna go on a date, we're gonna do this, we're gonna have all these great times together. Like, you sort of build up an expectation that this is going to be your next relationship, this is going to be your next person, and you think too much into it. So it's good to just sort of take it slow, take it easy, take things a few steps back. Remember that you're just talking at the moment, you haven't got to rush into anything. Take your time and sort of really get to know this person and really get to know they are the kind of person that you actually even would want to be in a relationship with, because it's not just about getting them to like you. You have to actually remember that you are also wanting to benefit from this relationship. So what can they bring to the table for you? You have to weigh up the pros and cons of the person just like they're doing with you, and sort of see if you match together. And if it is too much of an effort, or if it isn't working for any sort of reason, then remember that person might not be the one for you. There's hundreds of thousands of people on this planet, and no matter what stage you're at in your life, if the person isn't right for you, it isn't going to stick, and that's not on you. Question is, how can I trust after being hurt again? And a question about someone who is scared of heartbreak. So again, first part of the question is, how can I trust after being hurt again? I think as hard as it is, you just really have to like let go of the trust. And you might say, how can I do that? I think just time is a great big healer, and I know everyone says it and it's so cliche, but there was a time where I was really hurt by someone, and it did take a long time to get over it, and it took a lot of me seeing other people and, you know, not really being fully into it, but just seeing what's out there for me to actually realise, you know, there is some good people out there. It might not be for me, but and also spending a lot of time with myself and getting to know myself and things that I like and don't like, and then actually reflecting on that relationship where I got the negative trust from, and sort of thinking, you know, maybe I wasn't perfect in the relationship, but X, Y and Z wasn't my fault. The main reason for the trust breakdown wasn't my fault. So really talking to yourself, getting to know yourself can be very helpful. Next question is, how do you know if someone's really into you? And this is, for me, really easy in a way, because it's just, they will show you they're really into you. Actions speak louder than words, as people always say, and if someone makes the effort with you, willing to talk to you, wants to do things for you, I'm not saying waits on your hand and foot, but like wants to do things for you. Like my boyfriend, before we got together, would always be the person that would offer me lifts places, or, you know, be really actually keen to spend time with me rather than me having to force them, or be the one to always want to make the arrangements. It will just like fit together naturally. Sometimes, you know, I used to think that people like this were cringy and too much, but these are the kind of people that you are going to want to spend your time with, because they're the people that actually care about you and have your sort of perhaps best interests at heart. What I'm saying is, you might not know, but it's very clear in front of you by the person's actions and what they're doing. Next is what can ruin a relationship versus what can make a relationship. So again, people asking, what are the good qualities in a relationship, what are the bad qualities of a relationship? So in terms of bad and the things that make a bad relationship, there's a lot of things. There is lying, which is a big thing, being controlling, not trusting your partner, and this is a big one for me, not having your own identity or your own sense of self in the relationship. So again, I've been in a relationship where I've had to literally base my whole life on someone else and what they want to do. So I didn't really have my own hobbies, my own interests. There's a relationship before where two relationships where I never really even had my own friends, because I didn't spend a lot of time with them, because I was at home worrying about what my partner's doing, or spending time with my partner, or, you know, at work thinking about spending time with my partner, because it was just like an obsession, because when I was with them, they weren't giving me really what I wanted from them. Because, you know, sometimes you have a good time with someone, and then the other time you spend with them is time spent arguing or not getting along, or them manipulating, treating you bad. Comparing that to a relationship that I'm in now, which is a really good one, we trust each other, we are able to talk about our problems. There's a lot of relationships I've been in where I cannot talk about problems. If we have an issue with each other or we're arguing, we either ignore each other, or we just argue to the point where we're like, right, well, I'm not really like it, but the person will be like, that's it, we're broken up now. Like, they'll break up with you for every single little thing, or say, oh, we can't be together, or sort of put you in like a hanging balance. In my relationship now, it's never like that. We have a problem with each other, we're annoyed for a little bit, we talk about it, and then boom, it's over, we move on. And that is what a healthy relationship is, just being able to talk and communicate, trust, love, be able to talk about anything, any of the problems, even if it's not related to each other, and have our outside lives, then be able to come together and talk about these things, or not talk about these things, and just be together. And also, I think compromise is a very big part of a relationship, because there's things that my boyfriend doesn't like that he'll do for me, and as much as he doesn't say, there are things that I don't like that I let him do, or I will do with him. Very rarely though, because he doesn't really like to do stuff. But in a negative relationship, the person wouldn't be able to compromise with you, and you wouldn't want to compromise with them, which again shows maybe they're not really worth it and it's not the right person for you. So I've seen a few questions of people saying, I'm not in a relationship at this certain age, and a few of them were in their 20s, late teens. And they asked, is there anything wrong with me, or what am I doing wrong? And the answer is simply no, there's nothing wrong with you. People have different paths in life, people have different journeys, and people find relationships at different times. That relationship just might not have presented itself to you yet, the person might not be there, or the person's there, but it's not the right time, it's not the right opportunity, and you haven't actually realised yet, and it hasn't clicked yet that this is the person for you. Also, I believe strongly that you have to really find yourself and know yourself before you get into a relationship. I mean, you can just get into any old relationship, but I mean like the right relationship for you. I believe that there's still like learning and growth to do if you're not in that relationship, and it's not a negative thing at all, it's a positive thing, because there's a lot of stuff that you need to learn about yourself, and those opportunities are going to come to you. And also, I think having a hobby can be very helpful, because a lot of people that are single and wanting to get in a relationship, is it because you want to spend your time with someone, or you want to occupy your time because you're bored and alone? Finding a hobby can be very helpful for that, and sometimes you can actually find yourself in that as well, depending on what the hobby is. You find your sense of purpose, a little piece of your life. Next question is how to know if you truly love someone, and I'm gonna put in a couple points here. Firstly, you have to know the difference between love and infatuation, and a lot of times when we're younger we are merely infatuated with people instead of actually being in love with them. We are like obsessed with the idea of someone, like obsessed with the person, versus love, which is actually like I'll try and put some explanations up, but it's like a deep rooted fuzzy feeling. It just comes to you naturally. So I don't know if anyone has ever heard of it before, but the theory is, I don't know where it comes from, but I've seen it so many times, which is the theory that you have 3 loves of your life, and I'm just going to have a little read of it. Got it on my laptop. So the first, falling in love for the first time, is the love that looks right, and this is like typically when we're younger. So often our first is when we're young in high school. It's the idealistic love, the one that seems like the fairy tales we read as children. This is a love that appeals to what we should be doing for society's sake and probably our families. We enter into it with a belief that this will be our only love, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't feel quite right or if we find ourselves having to swallow down our personal truths to make it work, because deep down we believe that this is what love is supposed to be. In this type of love, how others view us is more important than how we actually feel. It's the love that looks right, and this is like very much how I resonate with the love relationship I was in as a teenager, because I just thought I should be in it for the sake of having a boyfriend. I thought, okay, this is what people at my age are doing, I should be in a relationship with this person. They made me feel good sometimes, but there was a lot of negativity in it. They made me feel a bit shitty behind closed doors. And then the second time is the hard love. The second love is supposed to be our hard love, the one that teaches us lessons about who we are and how we often want or need to be loved. This is the kind of love that hurts, whether through lies, pain or manipulation, and I can relate to this so much, because the person that I feel like I was like in love with the second time around it wasn't a great experience for me. It was very negative. At the time I thought it was great, but when looking back I was like, oh my god, no, there was a lot of lies, pain and manipulation in this relationship. We think we're making different choices than our first, but in reality we're still making choices out of the need to learn lessons, but we hang on. Our second love can become a cycle. Oftentimes we keep repeating because we think somehow the ending will be different, and again it was, because at the beginning of our relationship we went for a little cycle, and then it sort of settled down for a bit, and then we went for a cycle couple times at the end, and then before it actually ended and I said no, like enough's enough now. So that's that one. And then falling in love the third time, the love that lasts, which is the one I believe that I'm in now. It says, and the third love is the love that we never see coming, the one that usually looks all wrong for us and that destroys any lingering ideals we clung to of what we think love is supposed to be. Very true for me, because at the beginning of the relationship I said, this person is not the person for me, this is not what I see love to be. Yeah, it says this is the love that comes so easy it doesn't seem possible. It's the kind where the connection can't be explained and knocks us off our feet because we never planned for it. Like, again, I never planned to fall in love with this person. I just thought at the beginning we were friends, and then it became apparent to me that our connection was more than that. Honestly, you probably think I'm a bit of a hippie, but literally I believe so much in the fact that everything happens for a reason. So again, if you are not in this relationship, there is a reason for it. Whether it be, like I've said, you haven't found yourself, you haven't got your hobby or what you want to do in your life, the person's there but it's not the right time. Like, there's so much, or sorry, should I say, so many reasons for why you're not in that relationship yet. The last thing I'm going to mention is tips to get over an ex. So we've all been in that bad relationship where it's over now, but we're still like obsessed with a person, or we're heartbroken, or we've accepted the fact that it's over but we need to move on. My tips are these, probably similar to what everyone else is saying, but delete them off social media and messaging, and delete their number, block them, because you'll be so tempted to go back and message them, and until I actually didn't have that person in my contact book anymore, I was tempted to message them. And also time is a big healer as well. Again, I know it's like boring, yawn, everyone says the same thing, but yeah, time does really heal, and it does take time to get over that person. And also you need to have a fine balance. So I believe that you should sit and cry and let things out, but also not too much. You also need to keep yourself busy, surround yourself with positive people, surround yourself with people that make you happy, do things that make you happy, and also do things that distract you sometimes. Once you've gone through the crying period and done some crying, you also need to like read, go on walks, take up hobbies, think about positive things, and think, right now this relationship is over and there's a lot of things that I don't have to deal with. A lot of time, my time is now freed up. What can I take on? What can I do? How can I improve upon myself? How can I make my life better than what it is now? It may be great now, there may be a lot of positive in my life now, but what can I do? Or even if there's nothing I can think of to do to improve my life, how can I continue the cycle and keep myself happy? So there you have it, my big sister advice. I've tried to answer a good few questions on relationships, and I hope that what the main message you get from this is that no matter what, if we're single or in a relationship, our value doesn't decrease. We are still very valuable to the world. We still have a lot to offer to the world. So just, you know, live life, living la vida loca out here, baby. And even if you are single, stuck in a rut and thinking, you know, I feel like a lot of times there's always that one single friend in a friendship group who everyone else is with their boyfriend and you're just sort of stuck on your own. Don't think of it like that. Just think, well, they're stuck down and tied down with these people. And just think about the extra time that you have and to build upon yourself. And for those of you in a relationship, just remember to keep a good relationship life balance, or relationship self-love balance. And yeah, we're all gonna have a great time whether we're single or in relationships in 2021, I hope, and 2021 and onwards, should I say. So thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to me for more videos. I've got some fun things planned, and you can also leave some comments down below of any video ideas, responses to this topic on relationships and things like that. Yeah, just don't over stress, don't overthink. We're all good over here, and you're all good too. Just gotta breathe in the positive energy, release the negative energy. But okay, anyway, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you later, guys. Bye.